Blah, blah, blah. Hey you!
Yes.
Did you know Vane's tankier than most Immortal builds?
Dear God.
And he can do it with Terminus?
No.
Our best boy brings a beatdown in today's build of Vane, the Terminus tank. What lets this dog-loving do-gooder shrug off damage like it's no tomorrow? Believe it or not, it comes from block. Bestowing breathtaking reductions that make an Immortal Ascension build look like fragile frailty, block mitigates a whopping 85% when used on Vane. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. Granblue can get a little confusing. Guarding, blocking, parrying, it can be tough to tell which is which. So let's take it back to elementary. Everyone has guards. Hold whatever your peripheral's L1 button is, and you'll go into guard. Perfectly guard an incoming attack and reduce it to 0. Parrying happens when you release certain attacks at the same time as your enemy. These are usually charged attacks. Percival's Schlot is a great example. And finally, blocking. Certain attacks have active frames that reduce incoming damage. Galan's Eye of the Storm and Vane's Triangle Beatdowns are two examples. To show how effective these are, let's head over to our training dummy, the World. You'll see here that Quickening smacks us for 364, 383. You'll see that Guarding reduces this damage by 20%, down to 291, 506. Whereas blocking reduces this to 200,410. This means that blocking is not only stronger than guard, but it's mitigating 45% of the damage. That's all well and good, but how often can Vane block? Pretty often, it turns out. Vane's basic bread and butter are going to be his beatdown combos. He has Combo A, Combo B, and Combo C. But what does that mean? To put it in layman's terms, Combo A is a basic attack followed by a power and a power. Combo B is 2 basic attacks and 2 powers. And Combo C is, you guessed it, 3 basics and 2 power. And every power attack is a block frame. This includes the combo finisher. Endless Ragnarok introduced mastery traits. These are 3 different skill trees that you can spec into, and the one we're focusing on is the Crux resolve tree. This will grant us stacks of booming beatdown anytime that we finish a combo, as well as a link attack. When fully specced up, each stack is going to reduce damage taken by an additional 2%. This is additive with our blocks. And there are 2 different traits you could spec into that further reduce damage by 10%. Starting with the 45% mitigation, add in those 2 10s, now you're at 65%. Max out your booming beatdown, and you're now reducing 85% of damage at all times while blocking with no external forces. How cool is that? What if I told you it gets better? Vane's character sigil, Creed, gives you a buff after a combo finisher, reducing damage by 20%. This gets lumped into the damage cut tree, so it'll be additive with things like Crab Vestment returns. Additionally, you have your steel trait family. This is going to include things like Fatebreaker, your standard 5% defense, as well as Vane's 3% defense buff. Pair this with a couple of defensive support sigils, let's say 4 for good measure, bringing us up to a 24% buff there. Add them all together, and you've got 37% reduction. This is without Stoutheart, which is an additional 30%. Now keep in mind, all of these are going to be multiplicative. When added in with your blocks, Vane's Creed sigil's about 2% effective. Your trait tree is going to be about 4% effective, and Stoutheart's about 2.5%. Now you know me by now. And you know my saying, it's not about what we say, it's about what we can prove. We're gonna hop into Lucilius. This is a fight that's pretty universally considered the toughest of the Infinity Quests. I find Lucilius to be pretty chill, and hopefully after this, you will too. Vane can turn Paradise Lost into a joke, and I do not mean his Rampart bubble. When blocking any of the attacks that would normally give you an HP down, instead, you're gonna be buffing your booming beatdown while not suffering the HP penalty. How cool is that? I'm pretty sure it's because of his trait that gives him debuff immunity while he's blocking. This also means that you could block the orbs from Zero's attacks to avoid locking out not only your skill or SBAs, but your friends as well. That's right, you could tank those hits for them on purpose to protect your team. How about his damage? Well, if you're gonna test on the dummy and you're gonna do a 60-second score attack, Vane's gonna fall short. This is for a few reasons. One, his booming beatdown stacks aren't going to generate as fast as you want. And yes, you could set barrel to attack, and you could build them up manually and then attack as you'd want, like we did in the Ascension video. But because of the frequency of attacks in live fights coming at you, in conjunction with the beatdown gauge that you gain from blocking, you're going to be using your beatdown combo a lot more often than you would think. This leads to a pretty respectable amount of damage. For Vane's playstyle, while you're focusing on damage, you're going to be going for Combo B. That's 2 basic attacks, power into combo finisher. But this won't always be the answer. For example, you might use Combo A in the event you need block frames faster. Say the enemy's about to hit you and you didn't notice. You could also do an unprompted power attack. The first hit's free and won't reduce your gauge. However, after that, you'll start reducing into your beatdown combo, so be careful. And if the enemy's taking a little longer to attack, and your Combo B would finish before you take the onslaught, go for Combo C. Remember, at the end of the day, your biggest damage gain is not dying. It doesn't matter what the optimal setup is if you're dead on the ground. And this guide's called Vane the Terminus Tank, not Flubby Jensen the Doormat. Now for the build. Banging out the top 3 spots, we have Warpath, Creed, and Immortal Shell. My Warpath got paired with Nimble Onslaught, but use whatever you got. For Vane's Awakening Sigil, I'm using Creed and Will, but if you only want to run Creed, that's fine. Creed is required since it's going to give you massive mitigation, whereas Hero's Will provides skill cooldown on combo finishers. Not as required, but still good. 3 basic sigils. I have mine, Stun, paired with Ventus, Aqua, and Lumen. These will grant me the 40% damage cap bonus that I get from my mastery traits, and the secondaries can be whatever you want. They could be damage cap or supplementary, they could be Ventus, Aqua, Lumen, it's your choice. We're using 4 defensive/support sigils, which will proc our defense mastery trait. For mine, I went with Cascade, Quick Cooldown, Uplift, and Firm Stance. Just a little bit of everything that provides comfort for me. You can go with whatever you'd like. You want to max Uplift? Go for it. You want to max your Quick Cooldown? The world is your burrito. For secondaries, we have 2 supplementary and 2 damage cap. Then, we have a Fatebreaker damage cap pair. And last but not least, we have an Echo/War Elemental paired with the improved dodge. It can be whichever one you'd like. Over on summons, we have War Elemental, a Spartan or Berserker Echo, and again, this is whichever one's left over from what you didn't use in your sigils, Stout Heart, and Crab Vestment Returns. You don't have to run Crab Vestment Returns, but I really like the damage mitigation that it provides when I'm not blocking. I'd rather not keel over just because I mistimed something. If you don't want to run Crab Vestments, that's fine. Instead, you could slot in the last War Elemental or Echo here, and then put something else in your build. I would not give up improved dodge whatever you do. This has a lot of utility, not just for dodging. Vane can use dodge cancel tech to rush his combos. This includes combo A, combo B, combo C. Once you've begun an animation, you dodge out of the way, and then you continue your attack. And you can even use it on your beatdown combo to rush the finisher. It's kinda niche since you do want to get all the damage in, but if the boss is going to go away, the finisher is the most important part. In Link Time, you can dodge cancel twice to get 2 finishers and leave the phase with full gauge. Again, kinda niche, but you can do it. The secondaries you want on your summons are going to be normal attack cap up or stun. You can make do with anything really, just make smart choices. I trust you guys. If you're looking for sustainability, do we take Regen or do we take Divergence? Maybe Drain is the answer. Vane gets built-in Drain thanks to his booming beatdown. But if that's not enough, you could take Drain on your Terminus weapon. You get a free 25 levels, so it's pretty good. Potion Hoarder might also do you fine. But remember, if you go under 30% HP, you can heal to full, and you get a massive attack and defense buff that lasts for 1 minute and 12 seconds, which is a long time in these fights. Of course, you can still go with Regen or Divergence if you want, but they're not going to be really strong on a Terminus build. They're much better on Ascension because you have high HP, and because they heal for percent of max HP, obviously a higher HP is going to be better. So in Terminus situations, it's usually going to be Drain. Another cool fact that I threw on screen earlier, but we're going to talk about now, is if you die, your booming beatdown stacks stay. There's a lot of characters in builds right now that if you play them and you die, it's a huge detriment because you lose all of your resources. Not Vane. Vane gets back up and goes back to work. All in all, I know y'all have been asking for this build for such a long time. I really hope you could see the hard work that I put into this video. It might be one of my best edited yet, but tell me what you think. And if you try out Terminus Tank Vane, let me know how it goes for you. Remember, you're going to feel pretty squishy when you're not blocking, but if you are timing your blocks correctly, you're going to be a god. I love it when you all come back to me and tell me how the builds worked out for you, so I cannot wait to hear about all your Vane adventures. I love this character. He's so cool. He's so energetic. He's besties with Lancey. What more could you ask for? If you do want to take Rampart for your party, totally fine. I would not put it on your AI since they're going to use it at pretty bad times. For skills, I definitely recommend Soul Eruption. This is your oh shit button. Besides that, Drakenstolz is amazing. It's going to give you a stack of guts, and if you want to know a little trick, if you activate this after your guts gets procced, it refreshes the cooldown on guts. You don't gotta wait like the 3 business days for it to come back. Your other skills, really your choice. You can take Heroic Beat if you want. I like it for a gap closer, and it restores a bit of HP. Arm Destruction is my bread and butter for stun. Mostly, your damage is going to come from your combo B, but these are not bad either. Rampart's decent if you want to protect your party. You could even spec into it to give Mirror Image at the end for the cost of duration. Energy Destruction used to be really meta back before Endless Ragnarok, but now you could go either way about it. Breakthrough, while neat with the attack up, it's kind of whatever. Hostility's also kind of whatever, because for the most part, enemies are doing a lot of AoE attacks. Rift Divider's alright, decent damage, not much to say about that. And that's your kit. Let me know what skills you take. For your Overmasteries, you're going to shoot for normal cap up, skill cap up, stun, and then whatever in the 4th slot. As you can see, I didn't hit all the check marks, but this is also from before Endless Ragnarok, so I'll take it. You know, in the end, Vane doesn't need an Ascension build to be immortal. That's why this guy's the Terminus tank. But don't trust me. Trust the math. And that's it for me from Vane. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and if I forgot anything, please let me know. And until the next video, laters, Gators.